Welcome to the Archi Talk Podcast. I'm happy you guys all turned up. I'm sorry about making you wait longer, Tisha and Larissa, but some people's links weren't working and some people just haven't showed up, so as expected, it's okay. But we're gonna get started now. I kind of, if it's okay, everyone like unmute, so like just says hi, your name and how you kind of got into architecture. I know Tisha, you already spoke, but if you want to go again for everyone else to hear.
Alright, my name is Tisha, and I got interested into architecture like when I was like since primary school, to be honest. I used to be like really interested in like using Legos and stuff like that. And yeah, my interest in architecture just kind of progressed from that really.
Cool, that's cool. Larissa.
I got into architecture because of drawing and art. As they say.
Okay, cool. And Richard, yeah.
Oh, hello guys. My name is Richard. Can you guys hear me by the way? Sorry.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, thank you. So I kind of go into architecture from a young age. You know how, like, when you're young, you see the tall buildings, just kind of realize how is it even possible they just build this kind of cool design. And I just kind of from young, I just like, this is really interesting now. I just kind of get into it and see what it's really about and how it's all kind of made up and yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, we're going to move on to the first question now. So how this works, I'm going to explain it. We go through 5 questions plus 1 bonus. It's really quick. We kind of go around. I'm going to like kind of cold call you and we're going to kind of have like a conversation about the question. You can ask me anything. I'll ask you questions and yeah, we'll just try and go as we go. Okay, so obviously we just did a kind of introduction. People talked about their interest in architecture, which is really cool. I think it's nice that you guys all have different stories and how you got into architecture, because I know a lot of people kind of only recently discovered it, but it seems like a lot of you kind of discovered your passion for architecture when you were young, which is really cool. Okay, so my first question to you, Tisha, is who's your favourite architect and why?
Yeah, so like in all honesty, I don't really have a favourite architect. It's more of like a company.
Okay.
It's this company called Populous. Like they design like stadiums like across the world, football stadiums. And I think what I like most is that, like with like football stadiums, for example, it's quite cool how they kind of symbolize the identity of the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's quite a fun way to look at architecture.
Yeah. So would you say you're into like more grand buildings and structures rather than like residential, more small like types of architecture?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like there's more of a difference to be made with those kind of structures.
No, that's interesting. So if you were to go into architecture, which obviously you want to, would you want to like go and work on that kind of architecture, or would you like be open to trying different, styles and different projects and things?
Well, the thing about architecture, so like around 2 weeks ago, I was at a work experience, and they said that it's better to specialize in a certain type of architecture.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so that's cool. So you already kind of know what you want to do and you're just kind of working towards it, which I think is interesting as well. For your university portfolio, have you kind of like dedicated your work towards like football and stadiums and things like that, or have you kind of just done like a all round, show of your talent?
Yeah, no, I've done an all round sort of thing because I've just done an all round sort of thing because I feel like it's better to show all your skills.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, I agree. Okay, thanks for answering. Larissa, who's your favourite architect and why? Wait, can you guys hear me? Okay. Wait, Larissa, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Richard, who's your favourite architect and why?
Okay, my favorite is Norman Foster.
Mm.
I kind of looked up to his designs and everything from a young age. And one thing I kind of find interesting about him is how his like designs and building are more included in like glass buildings.
Mm.
And I kind of find it interesting, like most of the buildings are really tall, and then if it's glass, they're really close to the sun. How does it pretty much not break? It's just kind of interesting to me, and how he kind of gets all these random designs and everything, like materials and stuff.
So
especially
you're kind of interested not only in the architecture, but kind of like in the engineering and how the functionality of the building works, and like, you know, the environment that it's in, which is interesting as well, because I think a lot of people focus on buildings, just like the building on its own, but they forget about the environment around, and, you know, how the building will work, and how people will come through the building. I don't know, how the sun will shine on it, how rain works.
Yeah, because the building on its own is pretty much impressive as it is. So you see, like, what are these materials that's making it really stand? Like, what is it holding it together? I kind of get interested, like, more curious about those type of side as well. So and Norman Foster is pretty much my favorite, because he's more interested in like glass buildings and all these stuff, and I kind of lean more into him.
No, that's interesting. Norman Foster's actually my favorite architect as well.
Oh,
when I was gonna say, oh, someone's trying to join. Sorry, let me just add them back. Oh, it's Leilani. Sorry. Hi. Wait, Leilani, can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So I'm a bit late.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We were literally just talking about... Oh, wait, sorry. My screen's gone big. We were literally just talking about our favourite architects and how we kind of go into architecture. So if you want to kind of talk about how you go into architecture quickly before we move on.
So I've always, I think, been interested in architecture from when I was young. I used to watch lots of design shows, and I realised this is a career I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I really like architects like Zaza Hadid. I know that's kind of a cliche one, but I love the way she utilises the curves and forms to create her structures.
Yeah, so are you more like focused on, would you say, like aesthetics or functionality? Because I know Zaha Hadid is very much, you know, what you see is what you get. Like, it's really intricate, it's really curved, it's really abstract. So are you more focused on like how a building looks, or how a building works, and how a building feels, I don't know, to like a client or a person?
I think I'm more interested about how it looks and feels for a person. So like when they go into that space, how does it make them feel? And
yeah, that's interesting. You've kind of answered both, you know, questions, so I think we can probably move on. Richard, should AI be used to generate designs and architectural ideas?
Yeah, you're on mute.
Oh, that's so embarrassing. I don't know why this happens like every time, but sorry about that. But yeah, should AI... I was saying, Richard, I was asking you this. Should AI be used to generate designs and architectural ideas?
Opinion-wise, I would say no. Because AI pretty much creates the most random images out of nowhere. And to expect like human builders to actually make a building that AI has generated, who knows where it got these random designs and this stuff from. I don't think it would be possible for builders to pretty much replicate AI buildings or creations that it kind of generates.
But then my question...
So I would say...
Oh, sorry. No, you go ahead, it's fine. You say.
Oh, no, I just kind of wrapped it up, yeah.
Yeah, but my question to you is, do you not think AI can generate ideas? So it would get to a point where people are kind of like rinsed, like people have got no more ideas, you know, people aren't coming up with anything. Do you not think AI will be that stimulus to get like the start of the iterative process? It will like not, it wouldn't it like create ideas, like it would start afresh for people. So when like there are no ideas, don't you think AI would be useful to like generate designs that aren't thought of?
I would see her as just giving you the idea, not pretty much doing the whole thing for you, just to give you a simplified design idea, and you kind of draw up and finish the whole product. I wouldn't say using it to generate the full finished product or the finished image for you.
Yeah, okay. Tishay, what are your thoughts on the whole use of AI to generate designs and architectural ideas?
Yeah, so I personally don't think it should, because I mean, architects really don't get paid enough, and I feel like just putting even less workload for the architects, it just gives more money to the software developers that actually make the AI.
Yeah.
And less money to the architects because they're not doing as much as they used to.
But then again, could you not think about how the architects do the next steps? Don't you think AI would be a good base, a good start, and then the architects, build onto that and work onto it and actually make it realistic?
Well, I feel I kind of agree with you, because having AI, it would allow for the betterment of society, but at the same time, it will limit the creative potential of what architects can do.
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree for sure.
There's pros and cons to it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Leilani, what do you think about the use of AI to generate ideas and architectural ideas as well?
To be honest, I think it's kind of 50-50. Like you said earlier, it can be good to use if you run out of ideas and you just want something as a prompt. But I don't think it should be used anything past that level, as it's not really your work, and it's almost like you're cheating yourself as an architect.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think for me personally, AI should be used, but not obviously to generate, final floor plans, because it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be accurate. I think AI would be a good stimulus to start off the whole iterative process. So I know sometimes, I don't know, does anyone say I don't know how I can do this. Can you say me if you take art A-level right now? Does anyone take art?
I take art.
Yeah. So sometimes when you have a project to do or a piece to do and you have no ideas, I feel AI would be a good start. It would be a good, as I said before, it would start off the whole iterative process, because obviously architecture is all to do with iteration and, starting from somewhere and then building up to something big. So I feel AI would be useful to just give little tips and hints on how to begin a building, and then the architects can come in, as you were saying, Tishay, and actually do the proper work, because obviously the architects have more experience than AI, and I know it sounds crazy, but architects do go and study at university and get their degrees, do their 8 years, so they do have the experience in designing and building and what would work, and they know what the engineers could build. So obviously I think it would be useful if AI was used as a start point, and then the architects run the race and finish the race, and obviously then the builders come in and do their whole thing afterwards. But yeah, I think it's interesting to think about AI because a lot of people have different opinions on it overall, not just for architecture but just in general. So I think it's interesting to keep in mind. This isn't part of the questions, but Tishay, what do you think in 10 years there will be no more architects because of AI?
No, I wouldn't say in 10 years, but I definitely think that the amount of architects that are paid well is going to decline in the future.
Yeah, no, I agree for sure, because AI is just becoming more powerful. So, wait, does anyone take computer science?
I do.
And do you think AI will take over more within 10 years?
Over time, if the architects pretty much continue to use AI, they will kind of realize how amazing it is, and over time they will pretty much start relying on it more. So I do agree. In 10 years or so, yeah, it will pretty much dominate the whole field if they continue to use it.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Okay, we're gonna move on to question 3 now. Wait. What makes a building beautiful to you? Now, this is my favorite question of the whole thing, apart from the last question. So Leilani, I'm gonna start with you. When you walk past a building and you kind of like stop in front of it, what would make you say, "Wow, that building is so me. That building's so beautiful. That building really resonates with me." Like, what makes the building beautiful to you?
I personally like glass when buildings have quite a lot of glass,
Mm.
and they have like green spaces, so maybe like a green roof or a greening wall,
Yeah.
something that attracts nature, wildlife, and stuff. Yeah, I think that's what I love to see in buildings and architecture.
So you're more like into things that are quite like airy and like stand out. So you're not really into structures that are small, or would you say you're into structures that are like more grand and like big? Because I know you said you liked Zaha Hadid. So
Yeah,
do you like the
definitely.
grandeur of her work, or?
Pardon, I didn't hear what you last bit you said.
Oh no, I was saying like, do you like how grand a building is, or do you prefer like small, like dainty, more cozy, more like cottage like buildings?
Yeah, I prefer when a space is light and airy and it has a lot of natural light flowing through it.
No, I agree. For sure. I think that's really good for the environment as well. Because a lot of resources are bad for the environment. So using more like buildings that have like good, I forgot what the word is, like, I don't know, good lighting, natural light is really useful. Tishay, what makes the building beautiful to you?
Yeah, so I personally like buildings that tell like the story of like the history of a like society or just like community.
Yeah.
So like that sense, that feeling of like nostalgia. I just feel like it adds a bit of quality to the building and makes it unique.
Yeah. Are there any buildings you could like name right now that kind of resonate with you?
Well, a few weeks ago I went to the Barbican. I don't know if any of you know that.
Yeah.
But it's a huge complex of like buildings, and it just didn't feel real. Like it looked like a spaceship. Like it was very
Yeah.
like just very surreal.
Wait, so oh sorry, I keep doing this. What were you gonna say? Sorry. No, you go ahead. Okay. I was just gonna ask, are you like into brutalism then? Like, do you think it's like an aesthetic that you like, or
Well, it has its pros and cons, to be honest, but I think overall I like it.
Okay.
Even though it sometimes like has connotations to like violence and stuff like that.
Wait, to what? Sorry.
Violence and stuff.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. What does anyone else think about brutalism? I know that's not part of it, but are you guys a fan of brutalism? Leilani, Richard, do you like brutalism, like the style, or is it not really something for you?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
I think it's cool to look at, but it's not necessarily my style of architecture, but it is good.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I think it's, different people have different tastes. So, Richard, what makes a building beautiful to you?
Okay, so my favorite architect is Norman. And back again, I'm going to go back to the glass ones. When a building has like more glass in it and pretty much a bit curvy, which is kind of unique, and I actually like seeing that. I kind of get confused on how they kind of bend the glasses sometimes, and then all this stuff. It's just very, very unique. In my eye, it's very unique to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's interesting that you bring that up again, because there's like lots of buildings in the world. There's actually one church that I've seen that would be like definitely your style, Leilani, and also Richard's. But there's a church in, I think it might be Norway, and it's fully made from glass. Like the entire thing, there's not even a bit of like brick or anything. And like the way it's built, like everything is built in like lines, like shards of glass. I might try and find it at the end, but everything's like built in like lines. So as the like sun hits it, it like reflects onto like the flower meadow around it, and I think that's really, really beautiful. But yeah, I think definitely for sure glass buildings and like curves and all that is interesting to look at. On to question number 4. Oh wait. Okay. What is modern architecture to you? So to like kind of sum up what I mean by this, a lot of people hate modern architecture. They think we're kind of moving too far away from, you know, the Victorian style and the 90s kind of style and, you know, the suburban and all this. And we're kind of going to quite plain, blocky, black, white and grey structures and buildings. So what do you guys think about modern architecture? Is it for you? Are you not really a fan? It's completely fine, whatever you say. Yeah, I don't know who wants to start. I'll go Leilani.
So I do think I enjoy looking at modern architecture. I think it's something, it's obviously different to how buildings were created in the past, but I do think there should be more colour and it should almost be have a bit more life in it, because it does get a bit boring to look at just grey and monotone buildings.
Yeah. So would you say like modern architecture could like be good if they changed maybe like the color scheme used, or I don't know, the shapes, because I know you like Zaha Hadid, so maybe like the shapes things are built in, because Zaha Hadid's more of a modern kind of architect, but she like does it in a different way. She like, you know, creates curves and shapes and things. So do you think modern architecture could be improved through like new shapes and new forms, or is it more of a color thing for you?
I think some do have really interesting shapes anyway. I think it's mainly a colour thing. I do like Zaha Hadid, because she's got the curves in it, it's glass. I think that's what makes her work stand out, but other structures should maybe have more colour or be more sustainable architecture with lots of stuff to help the environment, such as greening trees and plants.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Tishay, what is modern architecture to you?
So I personally think that we're in a time where like function is more important than the aesthetics of the building. Because I feel like over the years, like through the use of like decorative architecture and stuff like that, just like the overconsumption of like materials and whatnot, like it's led to like a world where like we're really short on that renewable like materials and whatnot. So I feel like modern architecture is like essential. Like it's come to that point. And that's what I see.
Fair enough. So you think like resources are beginning to become like scarce, and it's kind of more of like housing people and like, you know, creating the airports that we need and maybe the third runway or whatever. You think it's more important to focus on what we need rather than what looks nice and, you know, what's appeasing to the crowd.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Fair enough. That's interesting. Richard, what is modern architecture to you?
Oh yeah, just like Tisha, I pretty much agree on modern architect being pretty much focusing on the specific purpose of the building and not pretty much the design, and not trying to make it look so extraordinary. Right? I like how they makes it very simple and pretty much simplicity. Just except the purpose is pretty much useful. Obviously, the design will look nice, but the purpose of it is pretty much simple, and they don't pretty much pay more attention or go extraordinary on other simple and small details to pretty much makes it look extra. Make it look extra. That's my opinion on it.
Okay. I feel like you guys all kind of had like different kind of like opinions, which is nice to see. A lot of people are just straight up, no, I don't like it. They don't have any, you know, will to listen to what other people have to say. But I think it's nice that you guys have justified opinions. Like, you have reasons for it. I mean, you like... Oh, wait, Tisha, do you want to say something? Oh. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I would actually say that, like, the blank canvas of sorts for modern architecture, it allows people to, like, express their own, like, creativity in comparison to, like, architecture that's pretty much set in its whole, like,
Yeah, so you're like kind of saying modern architecture kind of creates like freedom for people. They can kind of express themselves and be who they want to be rather than following a set style.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think that's one of the pros of modern architecture. but I can list a million cons. I think one of the cons for me, and I know this is probably one that people don't agree in, but some buildings, and maybe this is only architects that I've seen, but some modern architecture, like architectural buildings, are really like they're not using the space very wisely. Like, I know you talked about functionality, Tisha, but I've seen a lot of buildings now that are like, especially in America, I know this isn't the UK, but in America, in places like LA, you see buildings that are taking up a whole load of space. But if you go inside, they're massive. Like, you have like a bedroom that's like the size of a normal house in the UK. And I just think that kind of modern architecture is kind of just wasteful. We're cutting down trees, we're doing this, we're doing that, just to have a house that will be sold probably within a year, and not really used, like the space isn't really used effectively. So I think modern architecture is like, it's good in some cases, but in a lot of cases it can be quite bad. Oh, by the way, guys, if I say anything that you disagree on or have like a different opinion on, feel free to say something, because yeah, it's a free space. Oh.
Yeah, so like, what would you say is like the solution to stuff like that then?
I think we just need to really think about like what's actually needed in a space. So if some rich person wants to come and buy the land, I think there should be like maybe laws built and made to like actually really think, okay, does this person, like, what's around? Are there lots of trees that have already been deforested? Are there like, I don't know, is this gonna create an eyesore? Like, is it gonna block other people's light? Is it gonna do this? Is it gonna I think there needs to like be more consideration before we just jump into cutting down trees and knocking down old buildings and knocking down this to build these houses and build these structures. Because I think it's important to think about the environment. Obviously, we know the climate crisis, we know about all global warming and all this, we see about it on the news and newspapers, whatever. So I think it's really important to think about the environment, setting laws, you know, maybe finding people that are just building illegally. I think there's a lot of things we can do, but it's only obviously if the government wants to do it. So yeah, I hope that kind of answered what you wanted to ask, or what you were asking, Tisha.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go on to question 5. So what will architecture be like in 100 years from now? What I mean by this is literally what it says on the tin. I literally want to know what you guys think architecture will be, where it will be basically in 100 years from now, you know, and yeah, that's kind of it. Richard, what do you think?
As we know, architects from old, they pretty much keep improving, and obviously 100 years will pretty much be in a futuristic place. I believe we'll pretty much be in a futuristic way, and how buildings will pretty much have all this technology being the biggest part of it. Yeah, I pretty much seen technology like developing and pretty much taking over in the whole architecture business.
Yeah.
Or in the whole field.
So you kind of think that like it's gonna kind of be like a whole technology takeover, like buildings will maybe be built more like in the style of technology, or are you thinking like they're gonna be built by robots? Like, what do you mean by technology?
Okay, so both. I mean, pretty much, as we talked about AI from before, will pretty much be used to pretty much generate the images and styles. And plus, 100 years is a very far year.
Yeah, it's a long
believe
time.
there will be more like upgraded materials, pretty much to upgrade it into like a buildings where it will pretty much all operates mainly on technology. That's where my idea was.
Yeah. No, I agree for sure. I definitely agree. I think architecture in 100 years will definitely develop from now. But Leilani, what do you think? Where will architecture be in 100 years?
Likewise, I think it's going to be probably very futuristic, but I feel like a few architects will try and not push into that style, but go back towards less, even, I don't know how to explain it, less glass and metal, but probably use natural materials such as wood.
Yeah. To
probably contrast with how the society is progressing in that way.
Yeah,
so
I think.
Stark contrast in architecture in the future.
Yeah, so you think people are going to finally wake up and start using sustainable resources and sustainable materials to build and design? buildings in the future?
Yeah, because I think even now, more architects and companies are becoming more aware about sustainable architecture. But even in the future, I feel like it will be more of a thing instead of just an idea people are trying to start doing now. But
Yeah.
I think it will be properly a thing in the future, as well as the futuristic vibe.
Yeah. No, for sure. I just love how you're like really into the environment. Like, last week there was another person on the podcast that was really into the environment, and I feel like you guys have very similar views, and I think it's nice to see people do care about the environment and don't just care about, you know, how a building looks and stuff. Like, you care about the materials used and, you know, just looking after the planet, which is really nice to see. Tishay, where do you think architecture will be in 100 years from now?
Yeah, so I think it's going to vary from country to country, like continent to continent, I should say. Because I feel like with countries, especially in Europe and like, as well as like North America, like they've kind of already like reached a limit in terms of an aesthetic sense, at least. In terms of what buildings can look like, I feel like it's all going to be sort of the technology that goes on inside those buildings that's going to improve. But in terms of like developing countries, especially in Africa, I think there's going to be more of a focus on like the environment as well.
Yeah.
And just the well-being of people that live there, because especially now, there's already like systems in place to improve like the living standards of people living there.
Yeah, I think that's interesting to think about. Like, so you think like different countries with, you know, different, what's the word? I haven't taken geography in so long. Like different wealth, I think it is. Yeah, different wealth countries will have like be at different stages in 100 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think like overall, like the world is going to improve. I would hope at least in 100 years. But I feel like, especially in terms of like helping one another, I feel like a lot of advanced countries like need to help lesser advanced countries in terms of helping them improve, so there can be like a more interconnected world and whatnot.
Yeah. And you mentioned you think like the European countries and the UK are kind of finished. So then my question to you, this isn't again part of the actual questions, but do you think like people from 100 years ago, like what their predictions were, do you think we're kind of where they thought we'd be, or are we further, or are we behind? What do you think?
I feel like that depends from like person to person. Because I remember watching a video of like what children think the world is going to look like in like 60 years time or something like that.
Yeah.
And like it ranged from people saying that there's going to be like flying cars and all sorts of stuff like that, to people saying that like humans are going to rely on the help of robots, which is actually kind of accurate today. So
yeah. No, for sure.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah. I definitely think we've evolved a lot. I mean, there were some really ambitious people in the past, but if we look at a picture 100 years ago and a picture now maybe of London, you can see lots of buildings that have been built. And I'm sure if you were to show architects from 100 years ago, oh, can you build me the Shard? I don't know when the Shard was built, but if you were to show them like, I don't know, the Gherkin, they'd probably be like, we have no idea how to build this. So I think it is interesting to think about. But I also like how you talked about different countries, because a lot of people in the in these podcasts have talked about like different countries and like wealth, how that really does affect where countries will be in 100 years. Like, for example, I come from Nigeria, and I feel like Nigeria in 100 years will be a lot further behind like the USA, for example. Obviously the USA has more people, it has more wealth. It just, I don't know, it's just growing a lot faster. But I think somewhere like the UK could also be behind the USA, because the USA is growing at a quicker pace than the UK, even though they're both kind of wealthy countries. Are they countries? Yeah, countries, I think. So yeah, I think that's interesting to think about. Now we have one more question. This is kind of like a bonus question. Oh wait, can you guys see the full question? Or
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is just a little closing question. I just kind of want to see what you guys think. If you were to win the lottery, would you forget studying architecture, or does your passion surpass wealth? So basically what that means is, do you love architecture enough to continue like pursuing it with like money, basically? Like, would you being rich be enough for you to be like, you know what, forget architecture, like I don't like it enough for me to continue, or do you like it enough to continue? I'll go to Leilani. Wait, can you guys hear me? Okay, I think she might be muted. Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Richard, what do you think?
Me personally, if I was to win the lottery, no matter how much or how many I get, I think it would even kind of motivate me to pretty much push forward to the position where I want to be in a field of architect. I'll pretty much use the money to improve myself and go forward in life to the position where I really want to be in the architect field, and kind of pursue from there.
Yeah.
I don't think money will kind of stop me from pursuing something I've like kind of loved from a young age. I don't think, well, if it was to be a lot, then maybe then, but if it was like a regular amount, that pretty much would help me move forward and pretty much getting to the point where I would want to be in the architecture field. Then I would use it to improve myself and go forward more. I don't think it would kind of stop me from pursuing something I've loved from a young age.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wait, can you guys see whether Leilani's in, or do I need to re-add her?
I believe she left. She's not in the field anymore.
Okay, hold on, wait, I don't know how to do this. Okay, wait, Tisha, I'll go to you. If you were to win the lottery, would you forget studying architecture, or does your passion surpass wealth?
Well, if I'm being honest, like, money is the only thing that's actually holding me back from doing architecture in the first place. So if I were to win the lottery, like, I'll definitely do it, like, no questions asked, because ultimately that's my passion, and like, yeah.
Fair enough. So you like, obviously you're saying like money is like the reason, I guess, you're kind of holding back. Oh wait, sorry, hold on. I think she's trying to join back. Wait, guys, let's just ignore Snap in the corner. Okay. Wait, Leilani, can you hear us? Wait, can anyone hear me? Hold on, what's going on?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, I think she's having like connection issues. If she joins back, we can go back. But yeah, sorry, Tisha, I kind of cut you off. Wait, what were you saying? Sorry.
No, I believe you're asking me a question. But...
Oh, yeah. I was saying... Oh my gosh. I was saying, yeah, so do you think you'll be the type of architect that's really community driven, or like... Oh, okay, wait, one sec, she's joining again. Okay. Leilani, can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry, my phone just logged me out.
It's okay. It's okay, honestly. It's completely fine. Yeah, sorry. Tisha, I was saying, would you be like community driven, or do you think you'll be like, if you were to like win the lottery, the type of architect that's kind of, I don't know, this sounds like bad, but like kind of more like greedy. Not like greedy as in like, oh, like this is all my money. As in like you kind of like take a lot of land and like start building things that you've always wanted to build, that type of thing, or is there like another path you'd go down?
Well, I feel like if you were to ask me this question like a few years ago, I'll definitely say that I'd be the kind of architect that's like greedy.
Okay.
That just wants to do like their own projects. But I feel like as I've grown older and I've become like more aware of like society and whatnot,
yeah,
I'll definitely be the person that's more community driven, and like I feel like this is gonna sound like a bit deep, but I feel like a lot of people's purpose in lives is like to help others.
Yeah.
I feel like through that, my talent or passion would be nice to use that to help other people.
That's nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's really nice. I think the community is really important, especially a lot of people that don't have homes or, you know, just different things. I think it's nice to consider that. And with money, I think that'd be a lot easier to do. If I was to win the lottery, again, like as you said a couple of years ago, you'd say, you'd kind of like, I don't know, just spend it on whatever, or just, I don't know, kind of just, I don't know. I don't know how to say it, but I know what you said. And you know what you said, so I guess that's all that matters. But I know for me, it's kind of similar. Like, 2 years ago or so, when I was kind of just getting into my architecture, like, mojo or whatever, I'd say I probably would have, in fact, just given up on architecture, because I don't think I really understood how important it was to me back then. But I do think now that I've come to know more about it, I've come to know, like, more buildings, I've explored the world more, I think there's a lot to improve. And I feel like as the future architects, like, we're literally the young future architects, I think it's important to think about the impact we're going to have on the world. And so I feel like even if I won the lottery, I'd still want to become an architect. And I'd probably start my own firm. Like, this is kind of random, but would you guys want to start your own architecture firms or not? Anyone can answer. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I'd start my own firm because, like, referring back to the work experience I did a few weeks ago, like, one thing that my tutor said that really stuck with me was, like, don't become part of the system.
Yeah.
Make sure to stand out and, like, have the ability to do your own thing. And I feel like through starting a firm, like, you can definitely make a bigger impact than say you're just working on the spot.
I like that. I can't lie. That might be the caption for this podcast. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so guys, we've actually come to the end of the questions. Oh wait, I know we haven't. Leilani, if you were to win the lottery, would you forget studying architecture, or wait, have I asked? Or does your passion surpass well? If I've asked you this, let me know already. But wait, is she still here?
No, you haven't asked.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I think I would carry on studying architecture because it's something I'm interested in. The money would just help with the cost of studying, and I could also, like, save that money. I'd, like, buy a house and, like, probably start a real estate portfolio.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's good to have, like, me consistently going into your pockets. But yeah, I'll study for architecture, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. That's really nice. I love how you guys are all really passionate about architecture. Obviously, it shows you guys even joining the podcast to begin with. You know, you clearly are really passionate about it and really do want to get far in life. So I wish you guys all the best. But we have come to the end of the questions now.